So this actual ticket has been decided that I'm going to sing. So here we go. And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Adam Cole and the babies. 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 Okay, the party for life. The party for life. The party.
What's going on, everybody? THS Wrestling is back. We back, is what I've been told. Hope everybody had a good weekend and a good start to their week, as it is Tuesday, I believe. I have been told. Dylan, what's up, man? How are you? Hope you're doing well. And now it's time for the main event. Yes, NXT. Welcome in everybody who just finished up NXT. I'm sure we will talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of things, some of which I'm not sure. We're just going to go with the flow, see how it feels. And that's what we're going to be doing. My name is John, and I am joined by a true friend. I will tell you why a true friend. Most of you know what happened last night. It was a whirlwind of emotions, and one of the few people to send me a message of positivity and care was my good friend Neeson, checking in on you because I care, and I deeply appreciated that, my friend. And I said, I'm doing okay, but this feels correct. Neeson, how are you?
You know, anytime you see Nia Jax on the screen, I just have to make sure I check in on Pingle because I care. You know, that is why it's been a tough road in the world of professional wrestling. And so I just want to make sure Pingle's okay when, you know, the not like most girls.
I've been told that she's not like most.
No, man, we're all talking about Aaron Rodgers. And just the terrible Achilles pop.
It's that
Jesus.
turf.
Yeah, the Jet. I mean, Turf and also had like a 300-pound guy on his back.
That too.
It's. I had to check in on you because any Jets fan, I really feel for you. Look, I'm a Raiders fan. Raiders. We gotta win. We gotta win. Shout out.
Win.
Against the Broncos. We gotta win against the Broncos on opening day.
Yeah.
What is life? Let me just paint this picture for you guys. The Raiders got to win against the Broncos with Jimmy G completing 20 passes and only having 200 yards.
Wild.
Mind blowing. The Jets got to win with a Hall of Fame quarterback that had all the clout and all of the control all off season. Goes down after 4 plays within
75
4
seconds.
minutes of the game. Goes down. Jets get a win. In overtime. WWE is no longer a family-owned company. They are a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
CM Punk, they gave this man a whole show. He is gone from the company. He just kept fighting people. He was like, I
can't stop fighting my coworkers.
Fuck these fake fights. I want real fights.
I just need to fight.
Fight me. Do people understand? Like, we are living in a time.
What a time, indeed.
A time. A beautiful time. Man, we're back. I just want to take this time to say shout out to Dylan. Yes, we're back. We're trying to get it together. But shout out to Dylan, man, because as I was checking up on you, Dylan was checking up on us. And he would hit me and say, I miss you guys. So, Dylan.
I saw the text, Dylan. The text was sent to me, and I said, okay. And then last night, I think after the win, Neeson's like, Raiders win, Jets win. Let's do this. Let's come back. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it to it. So here
You
we
know
are.
why, Pingo? You know why?
Why?
Because we're not like most.
We aren't. We're not like most. We're gone for 4 months and then we come back. Yes.
We back and we're getting jobbed out on Sundays to look, man, I'm against the NFL, but goddamn, the NFL has to be the greatest drama on network television.
It is right now, I think.
It is the greatest drama. Thomas, shout out to, I know Pingo can't see the chat.
Yeah,
so
I can't see
I'm
the
sorry.
chat, guys.
I'm just talking and forgot that. I'm gonna just fly up some stuff here.
Hey.
To continue talking. But yeah, so the drama in the NFL is we're talking bloodline level, guys. Hey, yeah, it is long. It is,
yeah,
it's here. But we're talking bloodline level of drama in the NFL. But I know a lot of people, you guys in
Thomas, what's up, man?
Well, yeah, what's up, Thomas?
So I shouldn't watch Hard Knocks. I would still watch Hard Knocks. I think it was very well done. I really liked it. Obviously,
it really was good.
I'm pretty biased, but I think it was good, and you get to see the player who walked it off for the Jets last night. His entire story. It's great. Yeah, it was very well done. I had a very good time with it, obviously for fandom reasons, but overall it was great.
Nia Jax is only back because to go injure people.
Okay,
that's
so
the only thing she's back.
So
yeah, that's the hot tamale. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that because I mean, guys, I before we started doing the show, like right now, 8 minutes ago, I was like, what is the show going to be in general? Because we're in football now. Neeson and I talk about other stuff other than wrestling. Shocker to most of you. So it's like, what is this show going to be? But I mean, what it's going to be right now is we're going to talk about Nia Jax coming back. That's what's going to happen at this moment in time, and we'll just go where the comments take us. So Nia Jax is back again. I believe she headbutts. Hi, Kat. How's it going? She headbutts Rhea Ripley, basically saying, I'm back and I'm coming for this. Is that for Rhea?
That's for Rhea. That's for mommy.
So say we all. And I'm trying to think of like how I feel about this, because the last 24 hours for me have been trying to come and looking at the brighter side of things. I'm really trying real hard, guys. It's real tough, but I'm trying. And could this be a good thing for Rhea Ripley? Because I feel like she's run through everybody else. And we also, have they said like how long Nia's back? Is she back like on a long term, or is she just back for a cup of coffee? Do we know?
Pingo, you're frozen on my end. Is Pingo frozen on you guys' end, guys?
Hold on, guys. This happens with my camera. Give me a second.
Why you do that, I'll talk about. So yes, Nia Jax is back. Technically, she's been back for quite a while. Triple H, she was one of Triple H's Affinity Gauntlet era signees to come back into the fold. She's been a while. She's actually just doing Rumble. And you can tell she slimmed down. She looks quicker, and I think she's going to be a real player. And it's somebody that honestly I would say that the women's division needs. They need a monster. Like we have, you're back. We have Rhea, we have Raquel, but we have nobody to make these monsters. And I feel like Nia Jax, one thing that you could tell lacked really was somebody to help have those big meaty women slapping meat. We have big meaty men slapping meat. We just need some big meaty women slapping meat. And I mean, everybody is always looking at mommy, but looking at it for the wrong reasons.
I will also say, like, you make a good point, because it's like we have Rhea, we have Raquel, And then we also have, I mean, we have Charlotte, but again, I don't want to see that again, at least for like a while. I don't want to see Charlotte versus Rhea. So
Mm-hmm.
I think while I am not a fan personally of Nia Jax, I can
You're not-
see she's someone that no one. I mean, yeah, who was asked? I wasn't asking for this. This feels like it just feels like it's not frozen. It's all over the place, my man. It's in two. It didn't freeze. If it froze, we'd be fine probably. It snapped in half.
Man, that whew, guys, that watching that video over. I'm sorry. I just got a notification on my watch telling me on Monopoly Go I got robbed for $1 billion. $1 billion on Monopoly Go.
I saw this
got
is your new
robbed.
thing, right?
Oh yeah, Monopoly Go is my joint. If anybody got Monopoly Go, add me. I'm raping everybody. Oh, pause. I was gonna say bacon counts, but I don't want to use the heavy R word. No heavy R words. I am destroying everybody's property and bank accounts, guys.
Got
Everybody.
it.
No hard R's. No hard
No
R's.
hard R's ever.
No hard R's ever.
So no, I get it, guys. I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax either. I think this could be paused. I think this could be good in the short term. Long term, I don't know. Short term for Rhea, I don't know, guys. I just feel I'm trying to be optimistic, and I feel like we could at least get a good program out of two Goliaths going at it, making Rhea look even stronger than she already is.
3 Goliaths.
3.
You got Raquel.
Oh, so you're saying it's gonna be?
Oh yeah, you got it. I think she's challenging Rhea, but I think
Raquel will be like, I don't think so. You and me first.
Exactly.
Okay,
and it's gonna be Raquel, and because you have to make, that's the thing. Raquel didn't have to really go through anybody to become the monster that could stand next to Rhea, right? Like she really didn't go through Bianca like that, right? She didn't, like, Bianca's the only one that could stand next to Rhea and be like, yeah, I'm taking your title. It's mine.
Right.
Like, get out of here.
And Bianca's taking time, right?
Yeah, she's taking time. Yeah, which as she should. I think they're about to launch their
VMAs
what you call it.
Oh,
yeah,
their show?
and their show, and she was at the
merger
TKO,
yeah,
which we'll talk about a little later. Yeah, it could be a triple threat at Fastlane, and it's funny how these premium live events are coming up now. We went for basically like a half a year doing these big stadium shows, and then this later half of the year, we're doing arena shows, and it's not even headlined by the tribal chief, right? It's like headlined by everybody else.
Yeah.
And they're still selling out. It's still a hot product, which is it shows where the business is at and where WWE is at. And then, you know, we'll talk about the flip side maybe to that with the other company that is a quote unquote competitor.
I heard of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, them.
Oh, them. Look,
they're
you can
great.
see Camilla, guys. Camilla in the back. Oh, nope. Can't.
Yep. She was like, "Nah, I'm out." She was like, "I'm out. I'm good. You gotta pay me." Say, "You gotta pay me, Dad. Pay me."
Where are you?
I see her.
There she is. Hi.
Pay me for my services, Dad.
Just hanging out. It's me by myself tonight, so you know.
So I want to ask you, sticking on Raw.
Yeah.
How do you feel about main event Jey Uso? Please, and tell me in the chat, guys. How do you feel about main event Jey Uso moving over to Raw and Jimmy Uso staying in SmackDown? We got different theme songs, and also we got Jey basically repenting for his sins and like going through everybody that he wronged on Raw, and then you still got Jimmy dealing with the bloodline situation on SmackDown. I know, you know, we talked about, just to be completely frank, like you know what's going on via the Twitter, right?
I know what's going on via social media, guys.
Right.
It's been I've been diving in hard on the Japanese wrestling again. Anyway, but yeah, so what I think, and I've watched some of Jay's promos. Like, he got to open Raw, which was very cool. Twice. And I think so I like it. I don't know. I think it's weird that we had to have Cody be the one who, because he said I used whatever cloud I had, right? I saw that, and
He's an EVP. That's what he does.
not here. He's not.
Michael Cole said he's like, well, he used to be an EVP, so he's just doing.
God, that's great.
Cody, you know what Cody's doing? Cody's doing what Cody Luther King does. Okay, he's here for the people. Okay, he's saving the people. The man is he's the real people's champ. Okay, Dwayne is over there Dwayning. And
he's Dwayning for sure. I don't
he's
know
Dwayning, but you know, you got John Cena over here coming back doing a strike. He's like, look, I'm not working. I'm about to give it to the fans. I'm about to be here with WWE. Dwayne is Dwayning. And you got the real people's champ, Cody Luther Rhodes over here doing his thing, man. Like,
I mean, it is an interesting thing to for him to be like, I used whatever cloud I had to get Jay traded to Raw. I like it because, I mean, it continues the Bloodline story kind of in a different way. It's like almost like a side quest for Jay. It's like a very long side quest where at the end you get a title or something. I don't know.
So I was wondering how they were going to do this. And this was the smartest thing that they can do. I was wondering how are they going to break them apart and keep the feud going between brothers into Mania? Because this is a Mania match, right? And this is the perfect way to do it. Like, you put Jay on Raw, you give him his own theme music, you have him repent. You got to go through everybody. You could build him up. I thought they were going to put him for the Intercontinental Championship or something like that, but maybe we'll see later on down the line. But I question what they're Jimmy. I feel like is stuck. Like, it's still like, well, I'm part of the bloodline still, right? Like, he's still falling under the Roman shadow or something in that nature. And I don't know if it was like maybe go to NXT or maybe something like that, like so you could be completely away from Roman. And you see the fluid work with NXT now in the main roster happening more and more.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel really out of place. And I think something like Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes, Jimmy Uso versus Dragunov, Jimmy Uso versus like all those guys, I think it'll be really great. But I just feel like he's still under the shadow of Roman on SmackDown. But so I want to post. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So what you're kind of saying is maybe we should have, and also like you mentioned the fluidity with NXT. I feel like it's never been like this.
Never. No, it's never.
Which is, I mean, I feel like this was something that we kind of sort of wanted. And we never got it, and we were like, oh well. And now they're doing it, and it's making NXT like, hey, I gotta watch NXT now, because who knows who's gonna show up on NXT.
Don't you wish this happened during Black and Gold? Like, this was supposed to be Black and Gold. This was, but that's what Triple H and Shawn Michaels said, like back when they switched from the new era of the 2.0 to 2.5, right?
Yes.
And they talked about like there's going to be synergy, and we were like, whatever. Like, we just everybody's like whatever, but we see it. Like, Becky Lynch is women's champion. Dolph Ziggler was NXT World Champion.
Yep.
We see, but it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, we know we have. I mean, Dirty Dom is North American champion.
Yeah.
And they have to sell tickets, but also it just flows so fluently. Yeah. Like it feels like it's meant to be. And so with that said, and I know a couple people brought it in chat. I know Thomas says obviously Cody is going to get traded.
Oh boy. Hopefully that is not me. So here's the thing. Neeson's frozen, but I could be frozen. And this is just a whole thing right now. Let's see if it's me, shall we? Hold tight, everyone. So it is Neeson because I'm watching it live. Okay, guys. Let me just You are not frozen. So here's the thing. I had to open another chat because let me text Neeson as well, guys. Because I'm not logged into our little service here, so I can't see your guys' chat. So all I see is that Thomas's chat is up and that Neeson is frozen. So let's see if he responds here. But what do you got? Let's see and I only have YouTube up, guys. So sorry, there he goes. He's gone. All right. Hopefully he'll be back. Goodness gracious. So what do you guys think? Because I think we were getting to the point of how is everyone feeling about the bloodline? We've been doing this story for what seems like eons, and for the most part, every aspect of it has been pretty good. And it's been pretty good for a while. And what I want to know is how everyone is feeling about it now. Now that Jay is on Raw and now that everyone else is hanging out on SmackDown, does it feel as tight as it has been of a story? Like we're still like wanting more? Or are we just done with it? Are we just not wanting anymore? Boy, oh boy, I hope Neeson checks his phone. I'm going to open up Facebook as well because I want to see everybody's chat in there as well. Sorry about this, guys. Well, okay, so I and Dylan has said we need Jimmy and versus Jay at WrestleMania 40, and I agree. I feel like that is something that there you go. Hey, bud.
Yeah. It's been a while. I forgot I had to charge my laptop during these things. So
okay, I was like, maybe he just completely lost power. I don't know.
You're not even on my. You're black on my screen. It's just a black.
Oh,
screen.
Really?
Yeah. But what were you saying?
I was saying how I was taking the temperature of chats. Taking the chat's temperature is what I meant to say about the bloodline in general. How we're feeling about it now that Jay is on Raw. How we're feeling about it now that everyone else is on SmackDown, seemingly, drama bombing it as usual. I was saying that for a long time, every aspect of the bloodline storyline, whether it be little side quests with other people brought in, feuding with other people, tag team matches, whatever. Everything felt really well thought out and great. And I'm just wondering if people are still into it, or are we like, okay, we need to move on from this. Dylan says he's still invested, and he's saying we need Jay versus Jimmy at 40, WrestleMania 40.
Absolutely, I think that's definitely the case. We're getting Jay versus Jimmy at 40. I think we're getting. It's tough. I think we have to do a show. We should probably do a show around Survivor Series, because that's really the road to WrestleMania kickoff. We should probably do a show about our WrestleMania card and predict that, because look, man,
Okay.
does Phil who truly takes the title off of Roman when Jay is going to be wrestling Jimmy, right? Like, who's that person?
So we're still of the mindset that Roman is going to hold the title up until and possibly through Mania.
Absolutely.
Who is his next milestone?
This is Hogan and that's
like tomorrow.
No, it's SummerSlam 2024.
2024. Okay.
Yeah. It's SummerSlam 2024. So yeah, it's very interesting, man, this bloodline. So I would love to know my thoughts. I think the bloodline is at a pit stop. I think it everybody's hopped off the bus. You know, they're going to pee, they're grabbing some chips, they're grabbing some soda. People are lacking. They're like, you're supposed to be back on the bus in 15 minutes. You know, we're about 20 minutes now, and we're trying to doing roll call. We didn't do a buddy system.
Yeah.
We don't got an accountability buddy. So yeah, I think we're really, really dragging. But apparently they know, you know, so I'm still tuning in. I'm still seeing. Yeah, they said Thomas says that obviously is going to be Cody going over, and it's like,
does that feel after last Mania? Does that feel as special to you? Like if it was to be Cody, or have they completely lost the plot?
I think it depends on how they do it, and I don't want to say I think it depends. I know it depends on how they do it. Like it has to be something. Cody can't win the Rumble.
No, he
just
can't win the Rumble again.
Yeah, it has to be something. The story just has to be there. The story was so perfect for the last one. It was just like the guy comes back, the prodigal son returns home, sort of thing. And you know, I don't know how that looks. Seth Rollins is a great option as well, but like, how do we get there is the question. That's going to be, and that's why I say Survivor Series. We're going to start seeing it unfold a lot. We starting to see a team form as well. With like, it's probably going to be Jimmy's team versus Jay team at Survivor Series, I think.
Okay.
You know, we're starting to see those things kind of happen. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. I seen a theory, and Thomas says this. Thomas said Cody can challenge Priest for the Money in the Bank.
Oh.
I seen a theory that says Cody wins, or Cody's about to win, and Priest cashes in like Rollins and walks out with the title at Mania. Here's my thing. I don't think
they can't do that again.
Yeah, and I don't think Reigns is going to lose at Mania, though, to be honest.
Honestly, I think... Do we think... Okay, I'm pivoting because I think the person to take the belt off of him... I don't know if this is like a popular decision, mainly because it would be heel versus heel. I think it's Gunther, and it's not even close.
Ooh. To the two dominant champions in their company.
I think what happens is Gunther loses the belt at some point, and his play is I will make you wish that I had never lost that championship because now I want yours. And he's been, I feel, as dominant as anybody else has been. He's now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I think he has gotten to a point where he's ready for the main event. Nakamura is beating. Oh, and also, I haven't, like I said, guys, I'm not completely checked out. I do see promos and stuff like that. I loved the whisper in Seth's ear from Nakamura, and then the follow-up promo in Japanese. It's like they finally figured it out. It's so weird that they finally figured it out. And I love what they're doing with Nakamura right now. It'd be great for him to get the world title. I think that would be cool. But Seth's the man right now. And I don't really I don't know. But I think Gunther's my guy. And I think it also would be cool. I mean, I know Chad Gable has had some recent bangers with him.
Banger.
I saw that man Chaos Theory Gunther, which is insane on many levels. The rolling German. I mean, that could be it. I mean, that would be a very cool, heartwarming story to have him win the Intercontinental title. But then the turning point is he comes to Roman and says, You're gonna wish I never lost that Intercontinental title because now I want yours.
You know what? I can see that happening, but I can see Gunther losing, and I can see that being at Royal Rumble. And the reason why, and the reason why I think because I think Gunther is perfectly suited for the Money in the Bank contract. Like, I think he's the next step to win that. He's the perfect heel, the perfect person you could feel threatened by anytime, and he doesn't have to like run out and like tease a cash in. His presence now alone. And by the way, they need to wear those black suits looking like the Reservoir Dogs like they did on Monday night. They need to wear those all the time. Imperium looked amazing in those suits. And I was like, okay, like Gunther is too cool. Like he's a guy. He's a guy. He is a guy. He's a dude. He's a dog. He's a guy. Like, he's a perfect heel, but also he's just a guy, man. Like, I'm gonna. He's also, I mean,
he's also a great guy. I met him and he was very cool. I met him.
Yeah, like
CWG. He's great. So I want the world for him. And I think, like you say, he gets the Money in the Bank. I feel like the character of Gunther would think that the Money in the Bank is disrespectful to the ring because it's just an easy way to get a title shot. Now, if Roman is refusing a title shot, I could see him wanting to go to Money in the Bank, win it, and say, "I'm not going to cash. I want you ready. I'm not going to tell you the time and the date. We're going to do that."
Yeah, he's going to do one of those. Like, that's why he's not going to like run down or not. He's never going to take it cheaply. He's going to be like, "We're going to get this on this day." Like, here this is for sure.
And I think a Roman Gunther match would be absolutely insane. Hear me out. Cena versus Gunther. Cena becomes Grand Slam champion. Oh yeah, he's never won the Intercontinental title.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Cena does not want that smoke. That's
he'd take one chop and he'll charter the next.
All right, back to acting.
Yeah. He's like, I'll cross the thing.
I'm cross the picket
line. I don't care. I don't want another one of those.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of options. Yeah.
Well, my last thing, and this kind of goes to us moving on from WWE. The CM Punk comeback. Do we get if we're really talking about finishing the story is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. The reason people forget, I think, like, yes, the Roman Reigns is being shoved down people's throat, but just like every other major star in wrestling, it was nothing different. It was that podcast dropping and CM Punk burying Roman at every chance he got because he was like, well, I wanted Chris Hero on the Shield. I wanted Dean Ambrose, Chris Hero, and Seth Rollins. And they said no, they wanted Roman. And then they did this and they wanted Roman. And then they said, oh, you got to protect Roman. And when the Shield was happening and all these other, like he kept burying Roman. And so when Roman was actually out on injury during that time, so when he won his Slammy, what happened? Boo! And I was like, wait, what? Oh, that's weird. Comes back for Royal Rumble in Philly. The Rock raises his hand. The Rock's like, whoa, what is that? This is heat. This is real heat.
Who's the face, though? Is it Punk?
There's no face in this situation. I mean, there's no like heel versus face because this is literally John Cena versus The Rock in a sense. It's like the heat that's just gonna magnify. You're talking about selling out. You want to have the biggest audience in American wrestling, or really just break the 80-something thousand ticket, like the actual like paid ticket record. Which of course you're gonna do that in London.
Yep.
That's the match. It's not even Rock versus Roman at this point. It's CM Punk versus Roman Reigns in a main event of WrestleMania, because the people that hate CM Punk are going to show up. And the people that hate Roman Reigns because of CM Punk, they're going to show up. And it's going to be fantastic.
I'm going to tell you and everyone watching this right now, I don't care what he does.
Ooh.
Like, straight up. I feel like, and I've been telling people this, my analogy of my fandom with CM Punk is it's like Sublime's self-titled album. I really, really liked that a lot, that album, when I first heard it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm really, really enjoying this album. And then I was like, it got tired and played out. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to listen to this anymore. And then years after the fact, I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to that Sublime album again. And I was like, hey, this is really, really good. Wow. No wonder I really like this album. And now anytime I hear any fucking Sublime song, I never want to fucking hear it again. That's where I'm at right now. Listen,
smoking on that Punk.
We don't know. We don't know the whole story. We never will. Everyone's going to believe what they want to believe about what happened. Yeah. And I'm over it. And I wonder if WWE, and who, anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. So he'll probably be
anymore.
back.
Not anymore. Anything can happen in TKO. Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'm just over it. I was happy. Like, we got Punk. Joe. I was like, this is great. And then I was like settling back into it. I'm like, we're here and we're good to go. And then SRS starts dropping tweets that he's choking people and getting up in people's faces, and monitors are falling on Tony Khan, and he's screaming at Tony Khan. And then everyone's like, yeah, we said he got in Tony Khan's face, but we were really playing it down. And I'm like, holy shit, what is going on?
Well, he said it was fearful for his life.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. And I feel like my favorite quote from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I am 30 or 40 years old, and I do not have time for this.
I'm tired, a bird, with children.
Yeah, just play his clip. That's me now. And it's just like, we bent over backwards for him. We got a new show, supposedly, allegedly, whatever. We got a show that he only appeared on that show. That was his show. He came back because of that show. And then he allegedly was like, I can't stop fighting my coworkers. And I can't stop. There has to be something else going on in his life. Or he's just that. People know now that if they say something in his direction, making fun of him or calling him out, he's going to lose his mind, apparently, allegedly. So that feels like where we're at right now.
So Nick Khan's comments on CM Punk.
Yes.
And I quote, this is from Nick Khan, asked today on ESPN when he was asked about CM Punk as they were making their rounds on the TKO merger, Endeavor and WWE. He says, listen, we only have respect for Phil. We appreciate his run here. Mind you, Nick Khan wasn't there. We appreciate his run here. We appreciate what he did and tried to do with the UFC. So that's what he means by here, because, it was both.
Right.
Not many people could actually get in there and do what he did. Meaning, he can't wrestle and go into WWE and into UFC and get his ass kicked. Not many people can do that. So we have respect for Phil. We wish him nothing but the best. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody ever asked you about an ex Look, this is kind of fresh. I could talk about some stuff. If somebody asked me about a recent-ish ex, and they were like, "Oh, how do you feel about such and such?" I would, my exact words would be, "I mean, I wish her the best."
Yeah.
Now, that's you being, that's the most polite way saying, fuck her. That is saying, to hell with that person. Why'd you even mention the fact that you brought this person up? I kind of want to slap you right now, but it's people around. We're in public. You asked about this in public. So therefore, I can't let it show on my face. I got to be the bigger person right now. I got to be the one to say, we wish them the best. Because if it was behind closed doors, I would probably say, why the did you ask me that? What is wrong with you? Did you see what this person just did? Have we not seen these things? Have we not been in the same place at the same time? Like, what is going on? You know me, right? You know, so you've seen this. That's what he was saying by we wish him the best. Now, granted, anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Like I mean, it's a merger now, and they could just be like, we want him back. Make it work.
It's you got the fearful for my life clip, Dylan. I'm very, very interested because it is money. It is money waiting to be made. Like, it is ticket sales. It is asses in seats. And that's the thing. I'm not getting my hopes high for it. But if we're talking about completing the story, if we're talking about Bloodline story getting stale, if we're talking about looking for stars, and I think that's an overall issue right now. I think Kurt Angle kind of touched about it. It's like, there's a lot of talented people in professional wrestling. But where are the crossover stars outside of professional that's gonna grab headlines? Like, Roman Reigns is there-ish, but he's not really there because he hasn't really made that crossover. Like, he hasn't really he hasn't hosted Saturday Night Live. You know, like he's not there.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, and I feel Bianca Belair has a real shot to be there, and I feel like they're trying to position her to be there. But yeah, CM Punk, people know CM Punk. If they know him from wrestling, if they know him from UFC losses in UFC, they know him from being a face of AEW, they know him from literally leaving wrestling and walking out and being all over TMZ during that time. I don't know if you guys remember, there was like a huge story that this man just left and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So people know his name, but do people know Seth Rollins like that? Like, who else would be in that upper echelon, you know? And speaking of that, what is AEW doing, Pingu?
What are they doing?
What is AEW doing? Like, what they just
came
off.
Me what they're doing well or what they're doing in general?
What is AEW doing well, and also what they're doing in general? Because they just came off this 80,000 plus show in London, but it still feels like they can't move tickets. And I don't really care like about tickets or whatever, but you could tell that it's something disconnecting, like as far as like keeping the energy rolling, which they're still, look, Wrestle Dream, Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre
Jr. Holy hell.
Yeah, you have, I feel like the Adam Cole and MJF stuff is incredible.
It's great. That is something they're doing right. And I feel like it's something that WWE wasn't. I'm going to make an analogy here, and MJF actually also said it. Why can't two guys just be friends?
Yeah.
Because that's how it was. And you remember the women's division. It was like, oh, well, they're a tag team. Not for long. And that was literally like everything except for when we got to, for a while at least, when we had Nikki and Alexa as a tag team.
Yeah.
That was I think the first time in a while that it was like they kind of teased it, but then it never happened. And we were like, cool. They can just be a tag team and they can just be friends. I feel like that we're doing that with MJF and Adam Cole. I think they're doing a great job with that. in the same vein, strangely, I think they're doing a really good job with Roderick Strong right now, as he is actually more than just a guy right now. He is the
Is he not
sad
like most?
ex-boyfriend, basically, who now wears glasses for some reason and has a neck brace and has 2 other flunkies with him who also used to be friends. I like that. It's not like the
Mhm.
greatest thing, but to me it's very funny that he just randomly grabs a microphone and screams Adam's name. So I think they're doing that right. I think another thing they were doing right, and I don't necessarily know if I agree with it, is Orange Cassidy for the past however many months, he is their guy,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
He has become more than the comedy wrestler or the guy who doesn't care. And I mean, people who have been watching him for
Can we get
Do I
that?
have a
Can
neck
that be
brace?
your, can that be your Halloween costume?
Adam! You care about his neck more than you care about mine. It's like you're recovering. He literally just had a neck injury. Again,
Right.
loving the Samoa Joe MJF stuff because I don't know how that's gonna play out because Samoa Joe is my guy. I love Samoa Joe, and I think he's doing a great job right now too.
So
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 they're
what's your
doing a lot of things great, is what or good. Let's go with good. Let's not say great. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I think you froze again.
Ah,
Your thoughts on actually Samoa Joe and MJF? Like, what is it that all their major feuds have to reference WWE? Like, I mean, I know that's a common narrative on the
oh,
X,
that whole
um,
thing. Yeah,
but it's also like it's really real. To me, it gets tiring. I was tired of it, like a year ago.
you're
Like
tired
I
of
was
it
like,
last year.
yeah. I was. I can't understand it. Like you have these incredibly talented people that they could tell their own story, and then you could maybe allude to here and there. But when you kick it off with, "I was a boy back then. Now I'm all grown up," it's like, bro,
Yeah,
that
I
should have
mean,
been there.
it's that I don't enjoy. I don't think we needed to reference it that heavy. It could have been like I was a different person the last time you checked me.
Right.
It could be like a little reference. It doesn't need to be like I don't need the whole story because
Yeah.
if we're of the vein that our fans already know that, you don't have to tell me. You
His,
know?
I feel like MJF's whole title run has been WWE has shunned me, and I'm gonna show them. Right. And like I feel like that's the from the knocking out William
William
Regal to
Regal.
now, it's like they didn't believe in me. I was too young. You dissed me, and I'm just gonna continue showing you. And I don't know, like, but all the stuff that you're saying, like, I love, like, I love the Adam Cole stuff. I do think I'm your scumbag is very interesting.
I like
Um,
I like that.
it's really great, and you're you're constantly waiting for the shoe to drop, and you don't know where it's gonna drop, and I think that's great.
Yes.
Because it will at some point. Like he's going very hard with the I'm your scumbag, and
So
the whole like
do you
babyface run.
think MJF's going to be the one to turn?
No, you don't know. It could be Adam Cole joining up with Roderick
Joining the
Strong
kingdom.
and
Yeah.
yeah, joining the kingdom, right? Like you just don't. But eventually, it's going to happen, and you just don't know where. But I love the fact that they are committed to the story, and I think this is with one thing. If we're going to look back and see that the bloodline is the catalyst of what wrestling is going into, of like sticking with the story.
Yes.
And before we knew that, we knew what it was, but now we're starting to see it again come up in professional wrestling, like sticking with the story.
And that's, I mean, it's weird because, like everyone always well, I don't know if everyone always complains, but there's the whole, I'm still not frozen, right?
No,
am
you're
I
good.
back? Okay. There's the whole thing with we never get long-term storytelling. You know, it's
Right.
like we want long-term storytelling, and then sometimes we get it, and people are like, "Oh my god, take forever." Um, it's like, so how far does long-term storytelling go? And I guess you just have to listen to the crowd, right?
Yes and no. I think you have to be committed to telling the story, because at times it's going to be where the crowd may get a lull, like the bloodline, right? Like we hit a lull a couple times, and especially
Yes.
during but they kept with it, and it made it all make sense. It's like phase 4 of the MCU right now, right? Like people are
Right.
like, oh my god, what is this? It sucks. Blah, 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 blah. It's dead. It's too saturated. It's like, well, guys, we just came off of 22 movies,
Yeah.
and all having this tie up and all this other stuff. But if we go and look at phase 1, I mean, some joints weren't that good, right? Like
No.
Thor, the first Thor was not that good. Like
I
it
would have to
wasn't.
go rewatch it, but I remember liking it. I
Like,
could be wrong
yes,
though.
but I remember liking it. Like, oh, we get a Thor movie. Okay, cool. And then like I remember going back and like, all right, this. But they learned from it.
Right.
Like they loosened them up. They made Thor the basically like a broken god in a
Yeah.
sense, right? So all I'm saying is that now we're in the same thing. Like, look, we have to restart, and we're telling a multiversal story.
Yeah.
We're introducing characters that, like the initial MCU, were already B-C list characters. It was none of the A people in Marvel. All the A people went to Fox and Universal and then Sony. It was B-C list characters. People didn't look at Iron Man the way they look at Iron Man now. It was
Yeah.
not it,
No
right?
way.
So, we're introducing uh, a new Black Panther. We're introducing Miss Marvel. We're introducing Captain Marvel. We're doing setting up all these people. People need patience. They need to take time. It needs to
Yeah.
develop. Same thing with the bloodline. Like, be patient, have time, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it pay off. Main event Jey Uso. It's starting Raw. Like the whole crowd, and I don't know if you saw the clip on Monday, but at first it was like when he came out and went against Roman, he had like his section. The whole side of a sold out
Yeah.
arena was doing this.
Yeah.
Like main event Jey Uso is main event Jey Uso. And why is because they stuck with it and they believed in it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we're starting to see that with AEW. They're sticking with the Adam Cole and MJF thing. They're sticking with the Blackpool Combat Club. They're sticking with these things that may feel like they stick with Orange Cassidy. They stuck with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry. The one thing about the Orange Cassidy thing, and I saw Dylan comment it, is he lost the title and then he opened the show and was like, I'll be here every week. And I was like, I hate that, because if he is telling us he should have beat Moxley. Moxley didn't need that win. He should have beat Moxley, and I think it would have been. I mean, that title is the title right now to me. It was, maybe it still will be. I don't know what Moxley's going to do with it, but that title to me, way more prestige than TNT for me.
Yes. Yeah. No.
And possibly it's at least on par with their main title, in my opinion.
It is their Intercontinental
title. He put in the work, and he did and he had that long title run, and yeah, I don't know. Sorry, you were saying they stick with Orange Cassidy. I mean, they stick with Darby. Even though there's some weirdness with that storyline with him and Nick Wayne, and they should. AR Fox should have never been kicked out
Yeah.
That was so dumb. And because I was like, oh, I like Mogul Embassy. Now I really like Mogul Embassy. This is cool.
Right.
I will also say, I think we're due. Oh my, who did Swerve do his? Oh man, he cut a promo on somebody, and now I'm forgetting who.
Oh,
it
and
was.
Hangman.
Dude,
Yeah,
let's go. That's
I would have
cool.
been the first black champion. Yeah, that was
great.
That was a great promo, and I think it will benefit them to rebuild Hangman while building Swerve up.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
You have to rebuild Hangman. Like Hangman is a cornerstone to your company that you guys let just fall off.
Yeah,
and if he falls, I feel like the main event picture falls because it was placed on his back in the beginning. And he doesn't have to always be in the title picture, but he has to be positioned like a main star because he is the forefront of that new generation. Like he was the guy. It was him versus Chris Jericho. He was bearing the proverbial cross, if you will. Like he was holding it. Like I'm carrying this next generation.
Yeah.
And if it seems like he's just falling off, then it's gonna feel like that for everybody else. So I think that's a great feud that they have brewing over there. But you talked about Nick Wayne, and it just had me thinking about one thing. Christian hates dads,
dude.
You know.
Also, I listen. Obviously, like very sad and tragic for families. Wrestling storyline with Christian, pretty good.
No one's safe. No one's safe.
When he sat down at the presser after All Out and said, how's everyone's dad's doing? I mean, he knows what he is. He knows what he's doing.
He knows.
And
he knows.
It's great. And I love that too. I love the fact that Luchasaurus is the TNT champion, but Christian is the one that holds the belt and constantly forgets that he is not the champion. I like that. So they're doing a lot of fun things, I think. It just it feels it almost feels like they're like Tony was I just need to get through this double pay-per-view weekend. I need to get through All Out and I need to get through All In, and then maybe I can reset and find some new fun things to do. That's kind of what it feels like.
After he runs for his life.
After he what?
After he runs for his life.
Right. Fears for his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I run fear. I mean, somebody's launching at you. I hope he ran. Look, man. We just wanted to get on and have wrestling talk. We've been talking for an hour.
I gotta eat dinner.
I'm happy. I am happy to talk with you guys. Dylan, I can't say how much I appreciate that text. That's why I screenshot it and sent it to Pingle. But that's what really got us back. So thank you for that. And with all the technical difficulties, and I've been gone. Like I don't have a beard anymore, guys. Like that's how much like life has happened.
I'm pretty haggard right now. This is all from yesterday. I aged 50 years yesterday.
But I'm truly in my time of traveling, which
you've been everywhere.
Yeah. Disneyland, London, Norway, Netherlands, Amsterdam, Philadelphia. It's been a time, but it was a lot of traveling alone for the most part, and it was a lot of time to reflect, and it was needed. And one thing that I reflect about was I missed you, Pingle. And you're just a great person and a great human being. And I am blessed to be able to get to do this show to whoever watches, but really they just get to sit and watch me and a great friend talk about the great sport of professional wrestling and other things. Well,
I appreciate that. And I have missed this, and I think we just need to do it. You just need to do it. Yeah, can we expect you back weekly? Yes, let's do it. I remember I can't remember if Neeson was on the panel. That's the other thing that happened. San Diego Comic-Con happened, guys, and Neeson
San
was
Diego Comic-Con
on a
happened.
panel, and it was great. And I think it might be up. Is it up somewhere or no?
I have no idea. I forgot about that.
I'll double check for you.
I did San Diego Comic-Con. Oh God, you're gonna have me about to tear up.
And Neeson killed it. Highlight of his panel for sure. And I don't know if it was on that panel or if it was another panel that I was randomly watching. It was you need to make time for the things you love. Yeah. Somebody said that. I think it was JPG. Of course, it probably was. And I love doing this. I love doing this with Neeson. So what? No, his turn on him next week.
Some things never change. I hate you. So, how's the Cardinals doing, Matthew?
Oh, goodness. Anyway, I love doing this with you. This is fun. We need to make time for it.
We need to make time.
I don't know if Tuesdays will be it. I think Neeson and I will have a conversation and figure that out. But I feel like Tuesdays, for the most part, are free for me now. They weren't previously.
I redact my statement. Damn it, the Packers are good.
Yeah, they're good. They're fine.
Well, you beat a trash team, okay? The Bears should be playing for like the XFL. So let's just be clear, okay? So you technically didn't win. You basically just cut on Madden and played on All Pro or something like that, or just like the pro level. So don't get your hopes up. We beat the Broncos. We beat Bronco Country. Let's ride in Denver, in Mile High. Okay,
I love it.
In the Mile High, Wow High. You know the Raiders were high. Thomas, we can't do Sundays because football. It is the greatest drama.
Yeah, I mean
that American has.
Yeah, and I feel like we tried that during football, and I think it was just like, oh boy, like
watching the games.
I mean, all these Jet games are going to get flexed out of primetime anyway, so maybe we could.
No, they're not. They're
going to be like, oh,
Zach Wilson is going to
on primetime anymore.
Zach Wilson is going to be there smashing. Zach Wilson is going to be there smashing.
So I mean, Tuesdays might be the day, guys. We'll see. Neeson and I will talk, and we'll figure it out, and we'll let you know. But I haven't eaten dinner. The dogs they're not a barking, but they're looking at me like, hey, can you stop?
Hey,
please pay attention to us.
I'm gonna call. Hey, feed me. Hey. It's kind of like, what? That's kind of like your, well, I mean, because you have a whole like life partner over there, but like, you got your girlfriend or like your partner. You're doing something. They're just looking at you. You're like, hey, and they're not saying anything. They're just saying it with their eyes. And once you look over there, it's a wrap. It's over. It's like, oh, I gotta go, guys, because clearly if I don't move, I'm either gonna get bit in my jugular or like something's gonna come flying at me. Now maybe that's just me and the women that I date, but
Oh, Camilla,
I'm just use you guys as my therapist.
That's fine.
Just playing. I don't date violent women. No.
Oh my God. We should probably stop streaming.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah, guys. I mean, you can follow us both on Twitter. It's JP Thrice for me. I'm mainly on Blue Sky right now.
I know. I got to get over there.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm missing Twitter. I feel like I miss out on stuff, but I will say Wrestle Sky, which is Blue Sky's Twitter, is pretty good. They get some good engagements over there.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, we'll talk to you guys next week for sure. That's a promise that I will not break. We will figure it out. If it's not Tuesdays, we'll figure it out. But guys, thanks for coming back after us not even being around for like 4 months. We really appreciate it. God. I'm not going to plug everything because I can't. I'm not in the
Nah,
zone. So
don't worry about it.
We'll just say check out that hashtagshow.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we will see you guys next week.
And always remember, Rhea,